Hi, and welcome back to the HCCTV Student Lounge. This is a show done by HCC students for HCC students to give our opinions in news, entertainment, and what's going on your school. My name is Kai Aragon. So before I jump to Carolina, we're really excited because this is the first episode of season 2. We're making some changes here and there. You probably noticed some different things already. So we're really excited. We have a lot of interesting interviews already scheduled. And of course, if you are students and you want to participate, or if you want to send us some, sort of content, we would love that. Okay, so let's move on to Carolina. Carolina, what do you think? Are you excited for this new season?
Yes, Kyle, we look different. We're trying to improve as we go, and our whole team gives an input on graphics, music, and so many different things that we're trying for you guys in the student lounge. And we will be joined by Benjamin, Josh, Andres, and Eric as well. And we will have our very special guest, Sharday Campbell, from Enrollment Communications at HCC, who is here to talk about the toolkit for students in this fall 2020 semester and some ways to start out on the right foot in college. But first, let's move on into our top 3 news of the week. Video app TikTok said it will wage a legal fight against the Trump administration's efforts to ban the popular Chinese-owned service over national security concerns. Kaya, have you used this app?
No, never. Just kidding. I've used a little bit, but I'm more like a watcher. I love spend time watching because there's so many funny videos in there and I have a lot of fun, but I don't really do too much. But I did hear some things like some people found out that they were saving what was saved on your clipboard. So that means like if you copy some text for someone's text message and you saved on your clipboard, copy and paste style, they were having access to what was copied. And sometimes you can have personal information. Like I've copied bank account before with that, so you never know. So it is kind of weird, and I hope, well, I don't want to say I hope they don't block, but I think the right thing needs to happen, and whatever it is, I will be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, besides that, the app is kind of creative, and it's very funny to see all these videos. My friends, they work hard because it's actually difficult. I only did one video. It was trying to do like a part of a series that I like, a Mexican series, and it's very difficult because you have to memorize it, but at the same time, it's so funny. But yeah, it's kind of sketchy how things are going in that route. But okay, well, major theaters in the US opened already. AMC Theaters, for example, the nation's largest, reopened on August 20 with retail tickets prices for 15 cents per movie. I've never seen this low price. Have you ever paid less than $1 for a ticket?
No, I never paid less than probably like $10, so that's amazing. I just hope the popcorns are cheap too, because if the popcorn is like 15 cents, oh, that's a good deal, because usually it's like $15 for popcorn.
That's true. They actually make more money from food. Well, let's see. The NFL had 0 players test positive last week. The National Football League announced on Monday that 0 players tested positive for COVID-19 from August 12th to August 20. So I hope it keeps that way, right?
Yeah, I really hope so, and it's interesting too because they usually play together and all that in training. So if no one has, that means like they're being precaution. They're taking the right measures to avoid that. So that's a good thing.
Yes, I mean it's difficult because I know they follow the precautions with the face mask and everything, but when they play, they're touching each other. So I mean, I know they have the restrictions. They have to quarantine and they have to keep social distance from people, maybe family. I don't know, but it's actually pretty cool that they already started. For example, I've seen some not from NFL, but I've seen the Rockets play, and they have this new thing. They have screens around the place. I forgot the name. They have screens around, and they have your face like if you were watching the game, but you're from home. So maybe it's something that they record you while you're watching it, and you see the reactions. So it keeps it kind of real, when they're playing.
That's pretty cool. I want to try that out. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Now let's begin our first topic, which makes way to a great discussion. What are the best ways to learn? So we have different personalities as students, and the way we study, the way we keep our schedules, everything's so different, and it also depends on our work and all of this. For example, I read this book. It's called College Success, and it gives you some tips on what methods work better for you depending on how you study. So, or how your brain works, like how it filters the information from the lectures or all of this. For example, there's a method called lists, and it's a sequential listing of ideas as they're presenting in the lecture. So you just write them down as a list, and there's also some outlines, concept maps, and there's a Carnell method, uses a 2-column approach, and on the left column it takes up no more than a third of the page, and it's referred as cue or recall. And the right one is like the notes. So it really depends on how you work. Also, you can rewrite your notes, and I do this very often. Even without thinking, I have my notes from the lectures, and then when I want to go study, I write them down. It also depends on the class, right? Because if you're taking a filmmaking class, it's not going to be the same way. But when I have to memorize like concepts, I do that, and it works for me. Maybe it works for you. But what I've heard that you're very visual, actually. So how do you study for the exams, or how are your strategies, Kaya?
So now that you're talking about like writing, I always had issues with writing notes. Usually because the professor was going too fast and I just couldn't keep it up with it, you know. So one of the ways that I learned the most was first looking for videos, you know, about the subjects like biology, for example. How does the cell work? What's in the cell? Like, I don't want to just read a book. I want to see like actual video of it. So once I saw videos of photos, that stuck to my mind. And that other way that I learned too, it's by creating songs. You know, sometimes you gotta memorize all those really hard names and you're just like, it doesn't stick to your head. So sometimes I come up with like songs or ways of remember like the first letter of that word. So I come up with the different words that reminds me that. So I go back to it. And it's just like a mental thing that I do. I don't even know how like to explain properly, but that's what works for me. And I think that studying, it's kind of like that. You know, each person has a different style and a way that works the best, and that's why we're sharing with you guys, because we wanted to see if you haven't found your way yet, you know, maybe you should try different things, and that's what I've been doing. So another thing that I used to do too, I used to take notes after class by listening to the recording of the class, you know, especially when I moved to the USA. Like, I was not, you know, English was not my language yet, so for me it was really hard. So I used to go home and listen to what the professors, I could pause and take my time to write. I need to be like writing like a crazy person, you know. So that definitely helped me too. So just writing keywords. Keywords was the success for everything. Like keywords, highlight everything that was important, and then like just look like 3-4 times before the test, and that used to help me. And that's why I'm an A student, you know. But it's been working really good for me. So I'd like to know from the students here, who else would like to share how is their process of learning?
Well, for me, what I usually do, let's say if I'm reading like a text out of a textbook, I record it on my voice notes on my phone, and then let's say later on when like I work out or I'm doing something where we would usually listen to music. You just put on the headphones and basically you hear yourself. Sometimes you don't like your own voice, but you basically are reading to yourself whatever on the textbook, so you kind of like start memorizing it. Oh, okay, you know. Hey, E equals MC squared and stuff like that. So that's a thing that I do. I just record myself.
Well, Kyle, I'm very much a visual learner myself. I've never really been that into or good at having a person in front of me just explain something, because it's better for me to kind of see it visually. That's why I like watching documentaries about different type of things, whether it's on business or scientific stuff, because they have actual footage of what the narrator is talking about, and I can learn better by seeing what they're talking about as opposed to someone just talking right in front of me. It can be kind of boring. So my thing is more visual learning. Also, like Ben, I'm a big fan of working out and also learning at the same time. So I will actually read the newspaper as I'm working out sometimes, and I'm learning about what's going on in the world at the same time. So that's just how I am. It's kind of quirky, but that's just my process. But I think that if it works for me, it can work for other people as well. So that's my take on how to learn.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Eric. So Carolina, what time of the day is now?
Also, if you guys want to recommend a way of learning, this would be great. You can comment below in the YouTube video to let us know what works best for you or what doesn't work. Well, let's move into our Kaio's special guest. Who do you have for today?
Today I have Sade Campbell. I just love her. I've been talking to her for so long and she helped me so much at HCC. So, and she's the Enrollment Communication Manager here at HCC. And today we want to talk about, you know, the things their school is doing to help students. And since classes are starting, you know, we have a lot of like good tips on how to keep, you know, getting good grades, how to have a good semester, even though things are a little tough right now. But we know we can make it. We did last semester, we can do it again. So hi Sade, how are you today?
Hello, Kaio and the rest of the Student Lounge team.
So let's start to, tell me a little bit about like, you mentioned to me about the toolkit from HCC. What is that and how can that help the students?
So really it's one spot to get all of the resources that are available to you this fall. So you don't have to try to navigate the website yourself. It's just like this one stop. So it's a web page and then it's a PDF if you just rather download the file, but we're going to be updating it all semester. So it has like a range of things. So the first biggest thing is like people are wondering, or students are wondering, like, what do I do the first day of class if I can't show up to a physical classroom, right? And so got the answer for you. It's called Canvas. So it's powered by Canvas and we gave it a name. It's called Eagle Online. So you log on to that tool and that's basically how you get counted for attendance on that first day going forward and how you participate in those classes. And it's connected. It's the same user ID and password you use for your student email address. So it has a link if you're having trouble accessing Canvas. We also have links to technology resources. So we're online right now. Students are having to figure out, how do I make sure I'm online, or maybe my kids are online at the same time and my bandwidth is low. Like, how do I navigate this right now? So they have some discounted low cost options for Wi-Fi and computers. Our parking lots are enabled with Wi-Fi. So you pull up, log in, and you can work and you can do your homework from your car. So, but since the campuses are still closed, you got to do a little bit of planning, right? You gotta make sure your bladder is empty because the buildings aren't open. And I will acknowledge that there's a certain degree of limitations for students who may not have transportations, or students who are dealing with transportation that may not have air conditioning and having to sit out there in Houston's heat. So I want to like acknowledge and be sensitive to the fact that I know we're providing this and a great deal of work went into it from the IT team. I just think you need to know what to expect when you show up there. So we have those resources on there. We also have we have tutoring. Tutoring is the plug. Don't suffer in silence. I'm serious. Like, if you are struggling, there's virtual tutoring. You can upload your paper ahead of time and get feedback on your paper. You can get one-on-one virtual tutoring. I think they do it either through Teams or WebEx. So it's just a whole host of resources that are within that toolkit. So here's what I want you to do. I need you to sit with it, okay? I need you to read it, like top, bottom, like each page, like then click the link when it's in there and it'll be like, boom, oh, that's what they were talking about. Yes, it has all the information in there. So I think it's a really good first place. It was sent to everyone last week or late last week, but the website is hccs.edu/online toolkit. And that's where it is, what we're talking about. And it also, I mean, y'all were talking about, like, tips to get started, right? And one big tip is to advocate for yourself. Ask for help early and often. That is how we met. Kaio was like, I need you to help me. Then he circled back one more time. I need you to help me. Hey, I'm still here. I need you to help me. And eventually we got it figured out. It wasn't something that I actually had access to do anything to, but we worked through it and got you to the right person. And so I know this is a frustrating time trying to navigate this and not being able to walk up to somebody and say, this is what I need help with, and then being able to just walk over to that next person. I'm going to admit the struggle is real, but we are like really, really committed to helping you navigate this process. So don't get frustrated if you don't get your answer the first time. Keep advocating for yourself, keep pushing. We're gonna make it this semester.
Yeah, I agree. Those are great tips. And you mentioned tutoring, right? So how much is that?
I got the answer for you. Free promo.
See?
It's free.
You see, it's free.
So a lot of times you'll see like people comment in Facebook groups, group chat, they'll charge you for tutoring. No. We got it for free. I need you to take advantage of that.
See, and people still waiting for it. Come on, it's time to do it. So besides the tutoring, like what else people can do, to have a good academic year, not just that, but eventually, graduate with like a high GPA, for example. So what are the things would you advise them?
I advise you, it goes back to the point of if you're struggling with something, don't struggle in silence, right? So if you know you're going to have a limitation in being able to access the course, or if you're waiting on your books, if your laptop broke down, communicate early and often with your professor. They have something called office hours that you're probably going to see on your syllabus. Remember how I told you to go through that toolkit, read it twice, go to the top to bottom, and then click on the links? Do that with the syllabus, okay? And so within that syllabus, the professor is going to have office hours. And I know that's kind of confusing, but it's basically dedicated hours that professors where you can set up appointments, and right now it's virtual, to get one-on-one help with some concepts and things that maybe you aren't connecting to, or maybe you just need to talk through with them the challenges that you're facing for the semester and see how they can work with you to make it so you don't have to withdraw.
Perfect. You see, and I hope that to everybody that's watching us, especially students, if you watch this and you have done some of this tutoring, or if you have friends that don't know anything about that, please share this video. This is going to be really helpful for them. It's also going to help us to grow an audience. So think about that. We're really going to appreciate that. So now let's talk about fun things, Sade. You mentioned to me about the student life. I know that, things are a little different right now because of coronavirus, but what you guys are going to be doing for us to have fun?
Look, we got to balance this out. So the tradition is when you come on campus that first week, like they got free giveaways. They usually have a music playing. They have free food. And so like, it's really like an experience. And I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna miss that, but we got some things set up. Like we have a whole lineup. We did it this spring with student life and recreational sports. And this summer we also had events. So we had online parties. We had a DJ from 97.9 The Box. We got, for everyone. Recreational sports is doing e-gaming, like with some dope prizes. Like get in that. It's like they have online workouts. I heard from another person that told another person that was like, yeah, they're gonna have twerk fitness classes this semester. Like I was like, what? So yeah, look out for that. We wanted to make it where this week was that you just kind of dust everything off, figure out this online learning thing. Like we weren't trying to hit you with the fun yet. We're gonna hit you with the fun like next week. So, but we're gonna have all these things are free. And the other thing that they're gonna do that's gonna be really cool is they're gonna be doing like drive-in movies. So you're gonna be able to drive into to a designated HCC parking lot, and they're gonna already have it like they already gonna have the screens out. You're gonna pull up, they're gonna give you a little bag with some popcorn and stuff. It's gonna be like really fun, and arguably you can bring your family with you. So we're thinking through things to make it so everything isn't transactional, that you just not forcing yourself to push through this semester, that you actually have an opportunity to connect with some other people. It just may look differently.
Yeah, that's great. You see, better than the 25 cents movie is a free movie, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I actually been trying to go to a drive-in theater, but unfortunately, like it got canceled the day I was gonna go, so I ended up not even. I was like, okay, and now I'm gonna have an opportunity and for free, which is even better. So I'm really excited for that. I want to check it out, the virtual party too, especially because we'll be home sometimes and we want to go out. So, the virtual party may, freshen this feeling of I need to go out to party, party at home, So I think that can be fun too. But I think that's it for HR Day. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I think it was really helpful, all the tips you gave to us. So now let's move on. What's going on now, Carolina?
Well, thank you so much. Like she said, it's all about balance. So I love that student life always have something, because we have to get distracted from classes, because we need that. We need to separate things, you know, and this little break is going to be very helpful. Now, entertainment section. Today, we're not going to give you any Netflix or any other movies that are out. We are actually going to tell you which is our favorite student lounge show, and maybe we can connect it to how to help students start off on the right foot for this new semester. So Kyle, what's your favorite show of the student lounge?
So I know you mentioned that we're not gonna actually, refer in the Netflix movie, but we're actually gonna do better. We're gonna refer the best student lounge for ourselves. So in my opinion, my favorite one was the pets ones, and I think that one, we brought a guest, and she, like, her story is like she paints dogs and cats for shelters, and with the money that she gets from those paintings, she actually sent back to the shelter. And in one of those paintings, she was actually able to get the money and help the cat to be adopted, because someone saw the painting and they loved so much that they just don't want the painting, they actually want the cat too. So I think that was really sweet of her, and besides that too, we got an opportunity to see everybody's pets from HCCTV. We have a tortoise from Mohammed, we have a bunch of cute dogs, Benjamin's dogs was in there and it was so cute. So I think that's my favorite one, and I had so much fun watching and doing, of course. But yeah, and I would like to know who is the next one would like to share.
Well, Kyle, I was a big fan of the health and fitness episode because it had me featured along with Mr. Kennard, and we talked about how to get physically in shape with different types of workouts. We debated about taking protein shakes, which I'm not a big fan of. He is, but I enjoyed letting everyone at home and at HCC know that how to stay in shape, different types of techniques, whether it's push-ups or sit-ups. We had another guest too. She had very good opinions. I think it was very informative. I think that working out and staying in shape is very important for everybody. Thank you.
I really like the episode number 6 that we had Dr. Niti, that is the director of the international students. I really like that episode because in that moment, I think it was like 1 month ago, the international students, we had a lot of questions about how to take the fall classes, because the regulations of the government was like a lot of different things. They changed a lot of things. So Dr. Niti, he explained us how to take the classes, and he was very clear about that. So it was very good chapter. That's why I really like that. And also he leaves an important message about the international students, because he said that the international students, we are very important for HCC and we are very important for United States. That was a very good message for him.
My favorite show was probably the photography one. I think the guest brought up a lot of interesting points about how he didn't know what he wanted to do between school and a career, so he took a bit of time off to reflect and just try and find his passion. And I thought that was very nice to hear, especially because in my situation, I'm in between the school and career phase, and it was nice to hear from someone else who had faced the same experiences.
Well, my favorite episode was the food episode. It was the last show that we did. So we talked about we had Katie Rangel as a guest, and she's a professor for the pastries. I mean, she was talking about all this like recipes she's done and what they do in their classes, and I was just getting hungry, which inspired me to go back to my kitchen after the show and bake some cookies. So that's how hungry I got from that episode. that was my favorite episode right there.
Yeah, I'm really excited with everything, and as you guys may notice, that's a new season, so we have really new content coming up, and we're really excited about that. Now's the time to say goodbye, but listen to me, stick to them, because we have the funny video or the meme of the week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Also, don't forget to send us your opinion. Let us know if you want to talk about anything, any topics. We're here to basically advocate you guys as students, because we are as students as well. So if you want anything funny, bring it to us and we'll try to schedule something. And well, we'll see you in the next time on the Student Lounge.